Did you inherit $1 million from your grandparent, or are you about to become wealthy from someone else's hard work? If you say yes to these questions, this show is not for you. You, the hardworking, committed, and ambitious professional who have a 9-to-5 corporate job or a 12-hour shift worker keeping the assembly line running. Perhaps you run your gig as a freelancer, or maybe you run a small business. You are in the right place. Welcome to the Career Evangelist Podcast, where you get your weekly tips, ideas, strategies, and inspiration to find purpose in what you do so you can build a career you are passionate about and live a fulfilled life. Here is your host, Bola Alabi.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Career Evangelist Podcast. I'm excited today because we have another guest. An awesome guest, Bryce Batts. She's a certified career coach, a recruiting expert, and a co-founder of Career Collective. With over 15 years of experience and more than 800 professionals successfully placed, Bryce has helped countless people move from career confusion to clarity and momentum. She's also the host of the Wine After Work podcast, where she leads honest conversation about careers, leadership, and life. Bryce brings a rare mix of real-world recruiting insight, strategic career coaching, and deeper passion for helping professionals, especially women, to build bold, fulfilling career. This is going to be a very practical and actionable conversation because we are going to be discussing how to design a career that fits your life. With that, I'll bring in our guest. Hello, Bryce. Good afternoon.
Hi. Good afternoon. Thanks so much for having me.
Welcome to the show. It's exciting and it's good to have you join us. So if you don't mind me asking, where are you located?
Sure. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Raleigh, North Carolina. So thank you for coming on the Career Evangelist Podcast. And it's also very good to interview another podcast host. So that's something good. Anyway, so why don't you introduce yourself to us? Let my listeners get to know more about you, maybe something that I did not mention in my.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm a co-founder of Career Collective. We do recruiting for the architecture, engineering, and construction space. That's something I've done for over 15 years now. My husband's also in the industry. He's an architect. And funny enough, I got this job when I was getting my MBA. I met one of my good friends at school, and she said, "You really should try this." He was my boyfriend at the time. This was 20 some years ago. And she said, "You should do this. Your boyfriend's in the industry. You like sales. Recruiting's kind of like that." And so I started recruiting. As soon as I started, she quit because she got her dream job in PR, and she still does that. But I fell in love with recruiting. I say it's kind of like dating in that the timing has to be right. You're trying to make the right match, but really enjoyed it both on the candidate side and the client side. And then I wrote The Career Architect because I feel like I have held this tension for so long of what candidates or, employees want and what clients or employers want and what they're looking for. And because I had so many great conversations with people on my podcast, Wine After Work, and the theme seems to be that very few careers are linear. My husband, I would say he wanted to be an architect, went to school to be an architect, and that is what he's done for 20 years. But that is not many people's stories, especially women. You take time off to take care of parents, or you have children yourself and have to take time off. And there's so many pivots that happen. So I like to, place normalcy into that story and let people know just because you've changed things up, it doesn't disqualify you in any way. And I'm also a mom of two girls. They're both high-spirited like me. And so we have a lot of fun at our house.
Okay, so no, it's good, and I feel good getting to know you. So many professionals they feel like they are busy but drifting. So how
Mm,
can someone tell when it's time to intentionally redesign their career? What do you tell them?
yeah, that's a good question. I think the drift happens so easily and people don't recognize it because you're getting up and you're going to do the same things every day. And you just get lost in the busyness, as you said. And so they feel busy, but maybe not productive, or they're not lit up anymore. They're not doing something they like. So I think when you start finding yourself daydreaming about another job, or the Sunday scaries are really bad, and every Sunday you're not wanting to get up and go to work on Monday, it's probably time to start thinking about something new. Because we spend so much time at work. I really want people to be happy in their job. Now, is every day going to be a party? Of course not. And it doesn't matter where you work. But hopefully you're having more good days than bad. So when you start feeling that dread and not liking the people you're working with or the job itself, it's time to switch something up.
No, that's good. I like the way you put it. When people started having this Sunday nightmare, maybe it's time to start thinking of something new. But in terms of thinking of something new, or whether someone out there want to pivot for their career, what are some questions or considerations that you tell them to think about before they begin this journey?
Sure. At the end of each chapter of my book, I share different reflection questions. And I think the reason we saw so many people change jobs after COVID was because we all had time to take a step back and get quiet. Now, maybe your house was full with kids and everybody being at home for a while, but still you weren't commuting. You still had that time to kind of reflect on what's going right and what's going wrong. And I think that's where you have to start, with just getting quiet with yourself and thinking about what really gets you excited. When do you feel like you're in that flow state of work and you're doing something meaningful that you enjoy? And then, what can you get paid for? If you're doing meaningful work that you enjoy, how do you also get paid for that? Um, so just thinking through what you've done well, what people have complimented you on, or what they go to you for, because oftentimes it's hard for us to self-reflect. And, they say you can't see the label when you're inside the jar. So then I think it's important to, maybe go to friends or family and say, when you think about me, what do you think about? What do you think I'm good at? If you're having a hard time nailing that down. But typically, if you start tracking it, you'll soon realize what gets you excited at work.
That's good. Now, when it comes to looking for new opportunities, since you are a recruiter yourself, what are some things that you want to tell candidates to pay attention to in terms of how they position themselves so that they can attract right opportunities?
Yeah. Get your resume ready. Dust it off if you haven't done that in a while. You can write a cover letter if you think that's important for your industry. But the biggest shift I'm seeing is when people are applying on LinkedIn or Indeed on these job boards, and they're applying to hundreds of positions. So looking for a job becomes like a full-time job in itself, and they're not hearing back from companies, or they're getting a call and then they're getting ghosted. You just don't know what jobs are real and what companies are just posting for marketing and to get their name out there. So I say connect with people at the companies that you want to work for, connect with those people on LinkedIn and reach out to them and let them know who you are and what you're looking for. And maybe it's an informational interview that you want to have with them to ask them about their job and how they got into that position. This works well because if the company has a referral policy, they can then refer you. So they get the referral bonus if you're hired. and you have a way in because you have someone vouching for you that currently works at that company. So that can be really helpful. And then otherwise, if you're making a list of companies that you'd love to work for, go to their website and apply directly on the website and then reach out to someone from the firm there on LinkedIn. Because oftentimes, depending on your industry, if you're applying on Indeed or LinkedIn, they may be getting hundreds of applications and you're never going to hear back because they're overwhelmed.
Yeah. No, I think more people are definitely listening to that advice because I'll say late last year, I had like a couple of people reached out to me wanting to get more information about the company where I work. And I think I actually refer one of them to a role. Hopefully, they will call him. For interviews. But I think that's people will be like conduits that'll help
Yeah.
um, candidates to land the right opportunity. And thank you, Bryce, for sharing that with us.
Sure.
Now, we've been talking about recruiting. The other aspect for career growth, which I think is equally important, is promotion, right? So, in your opinion, what are some effective ways professionals can position themselves for promotion, without waiting to be noticed? Because it's
Mm.
quite competitive out there.
Yeah. Well, in terms of LinkedIn, I think it's important to have your picture up, um, have information on your about you section. Make sure you've got your resume on there because I talk to so many people and I still do career coaching. And when I talk to them, they're like, well, I haven't been on LinkedIn in a long time. And, then it's really hard because you've got to update your LinkedIn page. You've got to then become active on LinkedIn and start reaching out to your network again. But if you're always on there, and you're posting content or you're resharing content or you're engaging with other people's content, then you're already building a network on LinkedIn. So when you need the network, then you can tap into it. Um, so I think it is important to be visible there. I also think just for our own personal growth and development, it's important to listen to good podcasts, read books that will help you reframe your mindset because let's be real, looking for a job can be really tough. It can be defeating when you're interviewing and you're not getting the job that you want. So anything you can do to help your mindset too. And then reach out to people in your network via email and create a list. Maybe it's people that are friends with your parents. Maybe it's someone you used to work with. Maybe it's someone that you go to church with or you did nonprofit work with. Think about a big list of people, put together those names, and then reach out to them. Hey, you mean a lot to me. I'm currently looking for a new job. I'll be happy to send my resume along if you'd like. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I've done in the past and why I'd be a good fit for that. Do you know anyone? And
Okay.
I think it's good to be very intentional and let them know because you may think they know who I am and what I've done. People forget, people are busy. There's a lot going on.
Life is busy. So,
Yeah.
yeah, career architect, I know you focused on architects, architectural industry. Do you also help other industries, maybe construction, or how does it work?
We do. So for our recruiting, we focus on architecture, engineering, and construction, really anything within the built environment. And we do a lot of A&E, so a lot of design roles. And then my book, The Career Architect, really speaks to any person, especially women, who are looking for a new position or trying to build a career and design a life that aligns with their vision and values. And I did it that way because when I started Wine After Work, my podcast, I had so many incredible people on, and maybe you feel this way too. I wanted to be able to tell some of their stories. So some of them come from the AEC industry, but others, it was my contact at LinkedIn. Another was a woman who she was a dentist, and then she worked outside of that industry. Then she lost her husband and her son, and she talks about resilience. I talked to another woman who's in graphic design and share her story. And She spoke about the why not me era and putting yourself out there and starting to think, why not me? Why couldn't I do this? And having that bold confidence in yourself. And then to tie into that, I talked to another woman, Alice, who tells a rejection story. She's a writer and was pitching herself, and she gamified rejection and set a goal to get 100 no's, which
Wow.
sounds so scary and terrible, but those no's get you closer to a yes. And anyone who's ever done sales knows that you have to go in for the ask. You have to put yourself out there. And, I think so many of us in life, everything, most people would raise their hand that when you're putting yourself out there, it could be dating, could be, work, anything. It can feel really scary and you're worried about people judging you. But I think if you can build up that muscle of doing it anyway, it's going to help you in all areas of life.
Thank you, Bryce, for sharing that. Now it's 2026. I know AI has been playing what I'll call a big role
Mhm.
of people looking for job or preparing for interview. So this new year, what trends are you seeing, and what do you want candidate to know if they are in the job market?
Yeah, I think use AI to your advantage. We certainly use ChatGPT or Claude and things like that here, but also you'll see job boards are using AI. It's interesting for us being on the other side of it. If we're looking for candidates, we use Zoom Info and LinkedIn, and it will tell us how likely a candidate is willing to listen. And that's signals that AI has picked up on, whether you're submitting job applications, whether you have a lot of turnover at your company. So maybe you in particular aren't looking for a job, but lots of people are leaving your company. So it makes it a good time for me to reach out to you as a recruiter. So that's pretty interesting. And then you can use AI to help you tailor your resume. In my coaching, I've told people about, and I don't get any kickback or money from them, but this product called Teal, Teal. It's online. You can upload your resume and upload a job description, and it will tell you where you're fit and then what you're missing, and you can tailor your resume to the role and it helps you do that. So I think there's tools out there that can help you with your resume and your cover letter.
No, that's good too. Thank you
Yeah.
much for sharing that with us. I know more people are looking for ways to optimize their job search, and anything that can help them. Definitely, we should get that word out to them. Now, you've talked about LinkedIn. You've told us to interact, engage. What other ways can professionals effectively use LinkedIn without feeling, I'll call it salesy, so
Mm.
they rightly position themselves?
Yeah, I know some people are nervous to start sharing on LinkedIn. I think that goes back to like, well, who am I? People are already sharing on LinkedIn. They're already saying what I would say. But what I will tell you is that there's so much that happens online and they're not going to see every post you make. You may as well start small, and it might feel scary to hit post that first time. And it doesn't always have to be work related. It can be work adjacent. People share about their family on LinkedIn. But I would say exercise that muscle of posting. Post about your industry, post about something cool your company is doing, or a win that you've had at work, or repost on someone else's content, or at least comment on people's content in your industry, because then you're going to start building up your network. You'll see people will start following you, connecting with you because you have other people in common.
That's good. So, your book, Career Collective, tell us what are the major takeaways from your book, so that my listeners they can, develop the interest to go check your book.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. So the book is The Career Architect: How to Build a Career That Aligns with Your Vision and Values. It is available on Amazon. And I wrote it to tell other people's stories as well as my own. I worked for Another recruiting firm, as I mentioned, right out of MBA school. And um, while it was great in some ways, it was golden handcuffs. The culture was really toxic, but it took me a long time to see that I could potentially leave there and partner with someone and build something better. So I want women to know, like, there might be many bumps in the road. Maybe you take time off to have kids or you switch careers, whatever it may be. You can design a career and a life that you truly love. It's going to take some effort. You're going to have good boundaries in place. You're going to have to put yourself out there, set big, audacious goals. But that is waiting for you. And I think you don't have to be miserable every day at work. As I said, every day may not be a picnic or a party, but you can truly design a life and a career that you love.
That's good. Now you talked about strategy, and I know you are big on that. And now, let's say someone out there, they are thinking ahead, maybe 3 to 5 years. They want to do like a strategic career plan. How does that look like? What should be on their mind as they develop that plan?
Mm. Start thinking about those things again that really light you up, where you think you might want to be in 3 to 5 years. If you don't know, start talking to people who are doing the jobs that you're interested in or are on that career path that you see yourself on. Ask them how they got there, take them to coffee, do a Zoom call with them, ask them some good questions. And then I will tell you, I'm not the most organized person, so make sure you're writing all that down somewhere where you can track it. If you create vision boards, pull in those words and those pictures that show you where you want to be in the next 3 to 5 years. And then with AI, chat, Google, everything we have out there, podcast, TikTok now for younger people, there's so many ways you can do your research. People are using TikTok for their search engine more than Google now. People are looking for jobs on there. So there's so many ways to find the information that you're interested in. As a podcaster, I've always loved podcasts, obviously. So anytime I was interested in a new topic, I would do a search on Apple Podcasts. Then I would start listening to podcasts about it, taking notes. So you can really geek out, and you can decide how.
Yeah. So as we are wrapping this episode, I want to hear some maybe career advice from you, something that has helped you in your own career and your business that you are willing to share with my listeners. So what's one career advice that you would like us to know?
Yeah, I think when you're young, it can be really hard to have confidence in yourself and in your career because you're like, well, everyone has more experience than me. I'm newly out of college, or I just started here. But I think be curious and ask good questions, whether it's of leadership, of your coworkers, and be a sponge and learn as much as you can. And then don't be afraid to put yourself out there, even if you're young. I'll tell you a story of my company. We've got men and women here. It's recruiting, so we keep track of who's doing what and sales numbers. And we have a leaderboard that shows us. And I will say we had a man who was in the middle of the pack ask for promotion. And I'm asking myself, why aren't my number one and two, which were both women, why aren't they asking me for a promotion? And I think women will typically sit back and they can be really good at their jobs. But then over here, you've got that man who was in the middle of the pack coming at you for a promotion. So, ladies, remember that. Ask for what you want, advocate for yourself, and don't be afraid to do it.
That's good. So finally, we have come to our rapid fire
Oh,
questions.
all right.
So, Bryce, one career mistake professionals should stop making immediately. What is it?
I'll go back to not asking for what you want and advocating for yourself.
One skill everyone should be building right now.
I think learning about AI. Don't let it replace you, just learn how to use it.
One thing recruiters notice instantly.
Oh, good job stability.
Stability. Resume or LinkedIn. which matters more today?
Oh, probably LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. Oh, nice. So, one non-negotiable boundary for career longevity.
Protect your time.
Protect your time. Now, since you are also a podcast host, I'm going to do something unusual. I'll give you an opportunity to ask me a question.
Oh, this is exciting. Okay, how long have you had your podcast, The Career
Oh,
Evangelist?
that's a good question. So I've been podcasting for about 7 years now. So I started as a solo podcast. I talk about career and I talked about money. Then all of a sudden, I started getting emails from guests wanting to come on the show. We started growing. And today, that's why I'm having guests, and I stopped doing solo podcasts. 7 years. That's how long I've been podcasting.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, solo podcasting is hard, I think, to
yeah,
me, because you come
yeah.
up with all your own content. I've
Exactly,
I've
exactly.
only done a few of those. What
Yeah.
was your inspiration for wanting to start the podcast?
Another good question. So I have I'm an engineer by background. I noticed that there are many people out there. They want to work, but they don't know what to do. They don't know how to make progress in their career. I've been blessed to have made some progress. A senior level in my I'm at a senior level in my organization, so I felt like I should start sharing my knowledge with listeners, and with that, I started attracting other guests, more experts that are willing to talk about career. So, the
I love that.
inspiration is for me to be able to give back and help other people.
Yeah. I grew up watching Oprah and I love her so much. And I thought if I could just, interview people the way Oprah does. So my podcast gives me a chance to do that.
Awesome. So I'm going to check out your podcast and also follow and subscribe so that I can listen to you as well.
Oh, well, thank you.
All right. So finally, is there any other thing you would like to tell my listeners? Maybe something that we've not covered so far.
Well, I'm always on LinkedIn. So if you want to connect with me there, it's Bryce Batts. I would love to connect. And my website for my company is mycareercollective.com. And then I'm also doing consulting, and that's brycebats.co.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Bryce, for coming on the show. Listeners, please follow up and check out Bryce. Follow her on LinkedIn. And please subscribe and share this episode so that we can help more people win in their career. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure being here.